Welcome, YouTubers. All right, if you're not watching this live on Twitch, hello, my name is Draynilla, aka Thicknilla, aka Baynilla. I like to look at you guys very seductively and very sexually, you know, just to make a connection. Today's segment on Professor Nilla, we're gonna go ahead and teach you guys how to properly optimize your PC to run Apex Legends and, to be honest, any, you know, game that's currently out right now. Ultimately, it does depend on the specs of your PC, right? This isn't like gonna fix your game and like automatically help you achieve 200 frames in every single game, because obviously like it depends on your PC specs, but this is going to help your game run more efficiently and better and smoother. Okay, there's just little things that you can do in Windows and the Nvidia control panel and even in Apex, right, that can help you run your game as efficiently. And honestly, I feel like these are probably one of the best settings out there, because I get consistently 180 frames, and a lot of the pro players and other streamers can confirm that these are probably, you know, the best settings out there. So if you're a console player, I'm sorry, unfortunately this doesn't apply to you. Get the fuck out. The door is right here. But if you're a PC player, keep watching. So the first thing that we are going to make sure that you guys have is obviously the most recent operating system. So if you're still playing on Windows Vista or Windows XP or like whatever the fuck, I don't know why you would be doing that, but make sure you're on Windows 10. Okay, this is gonna help optimize your game. A lot of people actually don't realize that, right? They're still gonna be playing on Windows 97, right? And they're trying to run Apex. Why do I only get 40 frames? I don't understand. Well, motherfucker, you're on Windows 97, bro. That's why. I know it's like a given pretty much, right? But make sure you're on the most recent operating system. This is also another given. You want to make sure you have the latest updates or the latest driver updates, right? So for Nvidia, you want to go to your GeForce Game Ready experience or GeForce experience, right? Open that bitch up, go to drivers, check for updates, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Update them bitches if you don't already have the latest drivers, right? For AMD, it's going to be a little different. You just want to literally Google, you know, AMD drivers, right? And that'll pop up. It'll more than likely be the first link. I'm going to have all these links in the description of the video too. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to right click on your desktop and you're going to go to Nvidia control panel. Go to Nvidia control panel, right? In the top left, you're going to go to adjust image settings with preview. You're going to click on use my preference emphasizing right here. And you're going to drag this all the way to the left to performance. And what this does, it actually tells your graphics card, right, and your computer to utilize its power for performance rather than quality. You don't really see a difference in graphics, especially with FPS games, like let's say like Apex, Warzone, Valorant. You don't really notice a difference, but let's say like you're playing a single player game and you have like a 1440p monitor or like a 4K monitor, then you probably more than likely want to slide it over to quality, right? But obviously if you're watching this video, you're trying to get it, you're trying to do this for Apex, you know, Warzone, any FPS game that is out there right now. So make sure you have that on performance right here. Next, you want to go to manage 3D settings and pretty much just copy my settings right here. Pretty much everything is off, right? Anti-aliasing, make sure you always have that off. It's actually a personal preference, but I just recommend for people to have it off because one, it allows you to see further in the distance, right? And allows you to see actual character models farther away. And two, I just personally like it more because the game looks cleaner. One of the biggest things that you want to turn on here though is low latency mode, and pretty much that's just like it allows you, right, to have less input lag, right? So if you didn't know about that, so if this is off or even on, turn this to ultra, right? It'll help you with your gameplay and input lag, right? Trust me, just trust me on it, bro. You're gonna fucking love this little setting right here. Also change your OpenGL rendering GPU to whatever GPU you have. I have a 3080. A little flex, you know what I'm saying? Also power management mode, make sure you prefer maximum performance, and that's about it here. But you can copy the rest of my settings, but those are like the three most important settings here, bro. Power management mode, prefer maximum performance, OpenGL rendering GPU, your GPU, and then low latency mode in ultra. Also, if you run a 240 hertz monitor, you want to cap your frame rate at 190, right? Because Apex has problems with stuttering issues over 190 FPS. So you want to make sure you cap it at 190, or if you have a 144 hertz monitor, cap it at 144, because you don't want your GPU and your computer overworking for no reason, right? So if you cap it, the frame rate's only going to go to there. You feel me? So you just cap it at whatever your monitor is at. But if you play on 240 hertz, then make sure you cap it at 190. Also, you know, I run a 2 PC setup, so this might look a little different for you guys, but you want to go down to your adjust desktop size and position and make sure this is on whatever your actual monitor hertz is on. So if you play 144, put this to 144. If you play 60, put it at 60. If you play 240, put it at 240. All right, so make sure that shit is on, because there's a lot of people who actually have 144 hertz monitors, and when they buy them, they just plug them in and start playing, but they don't realize that you actually have to change it to 144 hertz because it defaults to 60. So if you play on 144 hertz, make sure this is actually at 144 as opposed to 60, because a lot of people actually forget to do that. All right, next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over some Windows settings. So the first thing you want to do is you want to type in power in the search bar right here, click enter, and you want to go to additional power settings, right? And change this to high performance. Yours is more than likely going to be on balanced or power saver, but put this on high performance, because obviously it says right here, favors performance but may use more energy. That's fine. Fuck the electricity bill. We're trying to get FPS in Apex Legends and every other FPS game that you may play.
I have a monitor with FreeSync and adaptive sync. Should I have that on?
I have a monitor with FreeSync and adaptive sync. Should I have that on? Yeah, what that usually does, I'm pretty sure that's with AMD cards, right? So if you have an AMD card, it doesn't really matter because it's not really going to apply anyway. Have an AMD, then yes, I would put it on, because what it does, it actually syncs your frame rate to your monitor, so you don't have micro stutters and shit like that. So yeah, I would definitely use it. The next step that you want to do, chat, is you want to go to your search bar and you want to type advanced system settings, right? And once you're here, right, you want to bring this up right here. It's going to be under advanced. You want to go to performance settings, and you want to click on custom. And pretty much what this does, right, and you want to copy this: smooth edges of screen fonts and fonts and show thumbnails instead of icons, right? You only want to check these two, and everything else uncheck that, because what this does, it's just all the little animations and little like sleek stuff that Windows adds in, right, that you don't need when you're a gamer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't care about any of this shit. Like, let's say like you're a graphic designer, or like you're a programmer, or you do this or you do that, and it actually involves with Windows that you have to show off, then yeah, you're more than likely want to keep that on. But if you're a gamer, right, you don't care about any of this shit, bro. You just want to uncheck all this stuff, man, right? Because it's just like, it's gonna allow your Windows to run smoother and cleaner and more efficient without having to do all these weird animations.
Optimize your PP for Apex and got excited. Now I'm sad.
Okay, this is not how to optimize your wiener for Apex Legends. I don't know why you would be playing with your wiener in the first place, bro. Okay, actually, most of my randoms actually play Apex like that, if I'm being completely honest, bro. I feel like they're not even playing with their hands, bro. They're just playing with their fucking cocks on the keyboard. Next thing you want to go ahead and download, chat, is this thing called Malwarebytes, right? And it's completely free. I'm gonna have a link in the description. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, I'll just go ahead and give you guys the link here. And pretty much what Malwarebytes is, it cleans up your PC, right? So it's not like an actual like antivirus like Norton or something like that. It can be if you want to pay for it. I don't recommend it because it's obviously like worthless, you know. If you don't download viruses or you don't watch porn, then you're fine. But you download it for free. Just click free download up in the top right here. But yeah, download it, run it. I already have it installed. Install that hoe and open it up, right? You're gonna get a free trial. I think you have to sign in, but it takes like 30 seconds, right? But open it up, man. And pretty much what it does, it just scans your computer for things that it doesn't need or things that are slowing it down. You feel me? So this is gonna allow your PC, like, it pretty much like it just gets rid of like the dirt and like the gunk and like the stuff like that is within your PC. You know what I'm saying? Like, not physically like on your computer parts, but like in your PC. You know what I'm saying? And it just gets rid of shit that you don't need pretty much, and it cleans up your PC. And if you don't run this, right, like let's say you've never done something like this, it's probably gonna detect like 10 to 15 things that you don't need, and it's gonna get rid of them. Possibly even more. You know, I try to run this at least like once a month, just to help clean up my PC and make it like, you know, as efficient as possible. No, it doesn't clean dirt out of the fans, chat. It doesn't physically clean the dirt out of your computer and all the grime and shit like that. It's just like within like your actual operating system, if that makes sense, you know? And it just gets rid of the little shit that you don't need. See, obviously I run this pretty frequently, so I didn't find any threats, but for you, it could be different. It could be the same, but just run it and see if it cleans up any of your shit. Trust me, it's completely free, so you don't have to worry about that, okay? Okay, so now we're actually gonna get into the Apex settings, chat. The moment you've all been waiting for, okay? Those were all like the PC settings to help optimize your PC as efficiently as possible and your Windows. So now we're actually getting into the Apex settings. Sorry, I stutter so much, bro. I didn't even realize how much I stutter. All right, so now we're actually in Apex. We're gonna go into our settings, right? Console players, sorry, you're gonna have to tune out of the video. I don't even know if you're a console player right now, why you're still watching. If I'm being honest, you know what I'm saying? None of this applies to you. But if you're a PC player, keep watching, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and click on video. Make sure your game is always in full screen, because if you're playing in borderless window or even windowed, you're fucking up your PC, right? And it's not even allowing you, right, to run your game as efficiently as possible, because it's not in full screen and it's not your computer's not prioritizing the application, which is Apex. So make sure you're in full screen. Always you have no reason to play in borderless window or windowed. Okay, make sure it's always in full screen. These are my resolutions. I play on native. You know, you can play on whatever you want, stretch res, whatever, it doesn't matter. Brightness at 70%. I feel like my brightness is at a perfect setting where it's not too bright that is blinding you and you're looking at the sun and it fucking just melts your eyeballs off, but it's also not too dark that you can't see players in tunnels and shit.
28 months.
Next thing, right? FOV doesn't really matter. You can play whatever you want, bro, as long as you're not on Shiv FOV. You know what I'm saying? Where you're playing at 90, bro. As long as you're not doing that, you're chilling. Just kidding. You can play on whatever FOV you want. FOV ability scaling. If you don't know what this is, pretty much this is what happens when you pop like a Bloodhound ult, or when you use your Octane stim. It increases your FOV. And if you don't know, when it increases your FOV, it also increases your sensitivity. And that is bad, right? Because it fucks up your sensitivity, it fucks up your game, you're not used to it. So I highly recommend just to disable it, right? Because if you enable it, man, like, it's just gonna have a whole world of problems, bro. It's all personal preference. At the end of the day, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but my opinion and my recommendation is to disable it. Sprint view shake, also have this on minimal. So what this is that when you're running, right, when you're sprinting, when you have your heirloom out, bro, if you're a cool kid like that, it pretty much just minimizes the shake when you're sprinting. So if you have it on normal, it's more realistic. If you have it on minimal, it's less realistic, but there's less shake, which I recommend. All right, next thing is VSync, bro. Make sure you have this shit disabled because it does increase input lag. What this does, it just matches your frame rate to your monitor. It's kind of like a budget FreeSync or G-Sync, but I recommend disabling it because it does increase input lag. In a game like this, a competitive FPS like Warzone, Valorant, Apex, any FPS game, bro, you want to disable VSync because obviously that input delay and that input lag, that millisecond, bro, can mean the world. Let's say like you get one more shot off and you kill him, or he gets one more shot off and he kills you. Like it can be the deciding factor in a fight, you know? So make sure you disable that shit. All right, next thing is Nvidia Reflex, right? This reduces latency as well and increases your PC responsiveness. So you want to make sure you have this enabled plus boost. Okay, make sure you put that on. Anti-aliasing, turn that bitch off because like I said earlier, it allows you to see your opponents further in the distance. And pretty much anti-aliasing, what that does, it smooths the edges of surroundings and terrain and enemies and stuff like that, right? So when you disable it, everything is like, it's, I wouldn't say it's unsmooth, but it's more clear, if that makes sense. And it allows you to see further in the distance. It allows you to see enemies easier, allows you to see loot easier, stuff like that. So I just recommend disabling it. Texture streaming budget, have that on very low because honestly, like, you can't really tell a difference. Yeah, there's less visual noise. Texture streaming budget, have that on low, right? Because obviously between very low and all the way up to insane, you don't really see a difference, right? And obviously in Apex, you want to have the most FPS possible. Texture filtering, have that on bilinear. Ambient occlusion quality disabled. Sun shadow coverage low. Sun shadow detail low. Spot shadow detail disabled. Volumetric lighting disabled. Dynamic spot shadows low. Model detail low. Effects detail low. Impact marks disabled. Ragdolls low. Pretty much every setting is low to prioritize FPS and to have the max FPS possible. Okay. As I keep saying, and as I keep like, you know, like I sound like a broken record right now. As I keep, I'd say, just repeating this, right? Apex is a competitive FPS, right? And you want to have the most FPS possible in a game like this, right? If you're going to be taking it serious, and if you're going to want to have, if you want to play to the best of your potential and the best of your abilities, you don't want to have all these different settings hindering you and capping your FPS. You know what I'm saying? So you want to disable everything and have everything look low. And Apex is the type of game, right, where it's not perfectly optimized, right? It's not the best optimized game out there, but the thing is, even if you have everything on low, it still looks decent. You feel me? Like, it still doesn't look bad, and there's not that much of a difference. You feel me? Like, most of your favorite streamers and most of your favorite content creators, they're playing on all low settings to prioritize FPS, right? And it doesn't even make that much of a difference in terms of the video and in terms of like the actual quality of the game. These are all my gameplay settings as well. You can copy it here if you would like. It's mainly just personal preference and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter too much, but the video settings are like the most important thing, and that's like where I went over everything and everything like that. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the settings, bro. We're gonna hop in the firing range and I'm gonna show you guys how it looks. All right, so these are the settings, right? These are the settings when that I just showed you guys, all my settings, all load settings and stuff like that, right? As you can see, like kind of farther stuff away, it doesn't look the best, right? But I mean, who really cares when you're like, when you get closer, it looks better, you know what I'm saying? But who really cares, you know, because you have 90 million FPS. As you can see in the top right, I have 190 right now. But let's say I go all max settings, right? I'll show you guys all max settings right now. You guys can see a difference. See? Honestly, there's not that much of a difference. It doesn't look that bad, right? It doesn't look, it like literally like it's pretty much the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much the same exact thing. And I honestly prefer how it looked earlier. But yeah, that's pretty much how it looks with all max settings. Like I said, you can't really see a difference, to be honest. So yeah, make sure you just turn everything off, bro. Use my settings, man, and I promise you, you will become 30 times thicker, probably 90 times better at Apex, because you're gonna have more FPS and you're gonna be winning more gunfights. This pretty much like concludes the optimizing PC portion of the stream, right? So YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, I love you very much. I stream daily at twitch.tv/Draynilla, so make sure you guys pull up, bro. Okay, if you did enjoy the video and you did gain some information out of it, right, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, I love you guys very much, bro.